last time you had a personal financial strain that forced you not only to give up a luxury, but also to cut back on a necessity? And what were the consequences you faced? None of the candidates could answer that. They talked about their daddy. They talked about where they grew up. They did not have specifically a point in time in their life where they said, you know, I give this up. They haven't been there, and they haven't done that with the middle class. They are all from privilege, every single one of them. And not one of them could point to any time in their life where they've had to give something up at all. Don't you find that rather unusual? We have this big conversation going on in this country right now about income inequality, but none of them have ever experienced it. And let's talk about this populist tone that the Republicans are trying to gather right now. What populist tone? Every poll, they are at odds with the American people. When it comes to health care, when it comes to taxing the wealthiest Americans, when it comes to income inequality, the Republicans are totally against the majority of the American people in all of their positions when it comes to polling on those issues. Populist tone? No. They can't fool the American voters this time. This is an elite bunch that doesn't really know the struggle of America, and they're all living the good life. And all they want to do is give more tax breaks to the wealthiest Americans and continue on a failed economic policy that has driven us right into the ditch. Get your cell phones out. I want to know what you think. Tonight's question: does Mitt Romney have any clue how much $10,000 means to average Americans? Text A for yes, text B for no to 622-639. And you can always go to our blog at ed.msnbc.com. We'll bring the results later on in the show. Joining me now is Katrina vanden Heuvel, editor and publisher of The Nation magazine and author of the book Change I Believe In. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
All right. Is this a turning point in any way, shape, or form for the Republicans with Newt being the front runner right now and this big stumble by Mitt Romney? Your thoughts?
I think it's too early to tell. You know, we've seen bullets before. There's still time to take Newt down. I still think in Iowa, Ron Paul has a chance to come in first. Has the best field, ground operation, may bring in new caucus goers. But for Romney, that moment, I don't know if your viewers remember, when his father came back from Vietnam in 1967, Mitt Romney's father, his father said, "I was brainwashed." He was out of that race. The campaign ended. I don't know if the campaign ends for Mitt Romney, but boy, is he clueless. I mean, $10,000, Ed, as you know, is 1/5 of the median income of an Iowa family, and he didn't know it. But they're out of touch in general with the state of economic pain and problems in this country, and the solutions they offer are from a reality show, a bad one.
I want to play a soundbite from Newt Gingrich in South Carolina last month. Here it is.
I was charging $60,000 a speech, and the number of speeches was going up, not down. Normally celebrities leave and they gradually sell fewer speeches every year. We were selling more.
Can any of these candidates make a pitch to the middle class and have it connect?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But let's be honest. There is a view in this country that government is rigged against working people. The fight is not to destroy government, which these people, the Republican Party, which has been hijacked and moved so dramatically to the right by the Tea Party, believe. It's to reclaim government, to work on behalf of the people. These Tea Party people who have driven this party to this level, they talk against corporations, but they suck at the teat of corporations. And you see that with Newt Gingrich. The people supporting Newt Gingrich must have a faith that the toxic combination of moral hypocrisy and unfettered greed is a winning one, because this man has used unethical goods. But there's a struggle for the heart and soul, such as it is, of the Republican Party. And that's what we're seeing in debates, Ed, which have been debased. It is a travesty. It would be a farce if it wasn't a tragedy to watch these debates. But what's happened to them and what's happened to the Republican Party is not healthy for this country.
Don't you think Newt Gingrich has enough media savvy and enough moxie not to make the kind of stumble and not to make the kind of mistake that Mitt Romney made on Saturday night? I mean, he's been around the block. I mean, he knows how to talk. He knows the code.
He knows how to debate. But you know what? He also is smug, and he thinks he has big, bold ideas. But you know what? They're big, bad ideas too, Ed. And he has made some whoppers. You know that. I mean, if people wake up as they will, and by the way, our campaign season is way too long, and it allows the silent candidate money to dominate. people are going to wake up and say, hey, I'm not sure I want to live in an America which is going to allow child labor, which is what Newt Gingrich has come out for, or what he says about poor kids in this country. At a time when the middle class is squeezed and is perhaps falling into poverty, he's basically saying poor kids don't know much about jobs except illegal ones. What is he saying about this country that he wants to govern? It's not the America I think millions of people want to live in. And, you know, President Obama on 60 Minutes, I think he was right when he said, it doesn't matter which candidate comes out of the Republican Party. They have the same ideology. It's the yo-yo economics. You're on your own. Discredited, trickle-down economics.
Katrina Vanden Heuvel with The Nation, great to have you with us.